This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to discuss about the two types of interfaces, formal interfaces and informal interfaces. Okay, before going to the types, we're going to solve one real-time application to calculate the mileage of your car. Okay, for this, going to write your generic interface methods, and then you're going to implement those methods in your own corresponding classes. For interface, you can't able to create an object. After completing these things, we're going to see what is informal interface and another what is nothing but formal interface. In this real example, I'm going to say what is informal interface. Okay, I'm going to calculate a mileage. I'm going to calculate your mileage. For mileage, I want to write one interface. I want to create one interface. For creating interface, I'm going to have ABC module. In that, I'm going to import the ABC class. Small ABC is a module, and then capital ABC is going to be a class. And then I'm going to use decorator stack methods. I'm going to have a class. I'm going to calculate your mileage for car. Okay. Further, I'm going to have your mileage interface, and then I want to inherit the properties from a parent. For mileage interface, who is the parent? For mileage interface, who is going to be the parent?
ABC is a class.
ABC class going to be parent. It's going to inherit the properties from the parent class of ABC. And then I'm going to have one method. So it's abstract method. I want to calculate the mileage. In that mileage, I'm going to use instance, and then I'm going to use distance travel. If you want to calculate the mileage, you don't want to know how much distance you have traveled, right? You want to know how much distance you have traveled through your car or any bike. Then only you can able to calculate the mileage. And then what's again parameter? How much fuel you used? How much fuel you have used? If you know these two parameters, then only you can calculate the mileage. For example, I used 20 liters. For 20 liters, giving like 120 means I can able to calculate the mileage. Okay, I can divide distance traveled by fuel used. Then it will for 1 liter it will give what's the mileage is. You have to use distance traveled by fuel used. You want to divide it, and then it will give for 1 liter. For 1 liter, how much distance you have traveled? That's going to be the mileage for you. Okay, that's what we're going to calculate. Now I'm going to though it's your interface. I want to use a decorator. Interface will contain only the abstract methods. Abstract methods means without implementation. Okay, I want to use the abstract method decorator. Method is not going to have any implementation. I have to use the pass keyword. Now I'm going to create one more class. In that class, I'm going to find the calculate for my car. The car name is MG. I want to calculate the mileage. Though it's a class, I want to implement my calculate mileage in my MG car in class. I want to implement those abstract methods in my MG car class. How will implement? What first thing you have to do? You have to use the inheritance relationship. Okay, then only you can able to implement those calculate mileage method in the MG car class. Now in the MG car constructor, so not sorry, it's not a constructor. MG car, the MG car, I want to inherit the properties of which class?
Mileage
ABC
interface.
mileage interface. Then only you can able to implement this method in the mgcar class. Now I'm going to have one constructor. I'm going to have one constructor in it. Then I'm going to provide the fuel capacity. I want to know the fuel capacity. Fuel capacity. I want to know the mgcar fuel capacity, and then I'm going to assign a variable self dot fuel capacity equal to fuel capacity, and then I'm going to initialize one variable called fuel level. Initially I'm assigning a 0. Fuel level is going to 0. Fuel capacity I don't know. Some car will hold 80 liters, some car will hold 60 liters, some car will hold 50 liters. Okay, depends on the car will change. For MG car, I'm going to pass in the constructor what's going to the fuel capacity, and the fuel level initially is going to 0. Okay, and then I'm going to write some few methods. Refuel, refuel, and then in the refuel, what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide the fuel amount. Okay, how much fuel I want to refuel. Okay, fuel amount means don't think the price. Okay, fuel amount 20 liters or 30 liters. That's what I say fuel amount. Now, first I'm checking the if condition. If by instance dot fuel level greater than fuel amount, what you have to do? The fuel level is 0, right? Greater than, just assume fuel amount is somewhat 30 liters. What do you do? If fuel level is 0, greater than fuel amount, okay, just pass some 10 over here. If 0 greater than 10, then it should come to the if condition, otherwise it go to the else condition. Okay, now my fuel level for my mg car is 50 liters. Okay, maximum capacity of my mg car is 50 liters, but initially my fuel level is, in my mg car I don't have any fuel. Then what do I do? Self dot fuel level equal to self dot fuel level equal to self dot fuel capacity. Okay, maximum I can able to hold 50 liters. Okay, maximum 50 liters means what is fuel level now? If I giving fuel capacity is 50, the constructor, what's the fuel level? Maximum can hold 50 liters, right? The fuel level is going to be 50. If I pass fuel capacity 50 liters, that's maximum of mg car. Okay, though my fuel level is going to 50. In case I want to write one else condition, if my fuel level, okay, if my fuel level, hold a minute, if my fuel level is less than fuel amount, what I can do? If my fuel amount is less than, I want to write self of fuel level plus equal to fuel amount. Okay, it may be a little bit confusing for you. I will make one hint over here. I go into punk. I'm putting fuel for 20 liters. Have this condition. Just substitute the value of fuel amount as 20 liters here. Initially, your car does not having any fuel. Okay, your car does not having any fuel. 0 greater than 20. What will happen? 0 greater than 20. Whether if condition is satisfied or not. 0 greater than 20. 0 greater than 20, whether if condition is satisfied or not. If condition is satisfied, can you say what is the fuel level? If the if condition is satisfied, can you say what is the fuel level?
Fuel level plus fuel amount.
I'm asking the fuel level, what's the value? I said fuel level 0 greater than fuel amount. I go into the bunk and putting 20 liters. Okay, though my car can hold 50 liters, but I am putting only 20 liters. Now, this condition is satisfied. If condition is satisfied, now what's my fuel level? I'm asking the int value
20. It's a
20
fuel
because
level.
fuel level is going to be 0 plus, and then they're going to bunk and putting 20 liters, right? Now fuel level is going to be 20. Okay, this is how you can able to refuel. For example, just consider if my fuel level is 30. Let's assume the fuel level is 30. Okay, 30 greater than, I'm going to the bunk. I'm going to the bunk. Okay, 1 minute. Fuel amount, right? Okay, my fuel level is 30, and then greater than 20. Okay, so initially I have in my car I have 30 liters fuel level. 30 greater than 20. What will happen? 30 greater than 20 fuel level. Okay, then I'm going to assign the value of capacity. Capacity means the car initial capacity is the 50 liters. The 50 level is going to be your fuel level. Okay, that's what written condition here. Okay, let it be. Now we go and write one more method for fuel, and then I want to implement this method. What the method is? Calculate mileage. I'm going to implement the method. This is going to informal interface. There's not any strict enforcement. Okay, but what I'm trying to do here is I'm using the informal interface. Calculate mileage. In the calculate mileage, I have to pass two parameters. One is distance traveled, another one is fuel used. Fuel used. Now I'm going to have an if condition. I'm going to provide the implementation for the calculate mileage in this MG car classes. Now I'm going to use an if condition. If fuel used greater than fuel level, and going to the bunk and putting 20 liters. Now you said fuel level is 20, right? Fuel level is 20. Now the fuel I used 30. Fuel I used. Okay. For example, I can say like this. I can keep like fuel used as 20, and then fuel used 10. Sorry, 10, and then fuel level in the current car is of now it's going 20. Whether if condition is satisfied?
No.
No. Okay. If my fuel used is more than the fuel level, what I do? I want to return one string, not enough fuel to travel a distance. Not enough fuel to travel distance. In case if the if condition was satisfied, then what I do? Fuel used, sorry, self dot fuel used, self dot fuel used minus equal to I'm making mistake, not fuel used, fuel level actually, fuel level minus equal to fuel used. Let's take the condition. For example, fuel used, or what I'm trying to do is 10. Okay, 10 greater than fuel level is going to 20. I'm not satisfied. Now what will happen? From the fuel used, okay, fuel is 10, right? From the fuel level, going to minus 20 minus 10, 10. Though my fuel level is 20, and then fuel I use, I going to use minus 10. 20 minus 10 will be 10. This is how. Okay, I return a else condition. Now I going to use one return statement. Return. What is formula for to calculate the mileage? To calculate the mileage, what formula?
Distance
Distance
traveled
traveled by fuel used, right?
by fuel.
Distance traveled divided by fuel used. That's it. This is how you are implementing the abstract methods in the one of the class called mgcar. Okay, now what I'm trying to do here is first I'm checking for the fuel. Okay, if the fuel level is greater than fuel amount, for example bunker going putting 20 liters, if the fuel level is greater than 20 liters, it's going to be my fuel capacity. Fuel capacity is going to be somewhat 50 liters. mgcar is only 50 liters. In case my fuel level is less than the fuel amount, I going to what I going to do? I going to add the fuel level. What are the fuel amount I have? I going to add the fuel level. Okay, and then I going to carry the mileage, and then fuel I use greater than fuel level. Okay, then I have to display messages not enough fuel to travel distance. In case else condition, I going on to subtract the fuel used from the fuel level, and then I want to calculate the mileage distance traveled by fuel used. Now you're going to say how I want to calculate the mileage. First step, what you have to do? You have to create an instance and then create an object for mgcar. In the mgcar constructor, what value you have to pass? mgcar is a constructor, right? Calling constructor. In the constructor, what value you have to pass? You have to pass the fuel capacity. Fuel capacity. Now I'm going to make it as 50 liters. 50 liters, and then I'm going to calculate the mileage. I'm going to use the print statement, mil dot, and then I'm going to calculate the mileage. In the calculate mileage, what are the parameters I want to substitute? What are
Distance
the
fuels.
distance travel? Distance travel, I'm going to travel like 120 kilometers. Okay, from Chennai to Pondicherry. How much kilometers? 140, 180. Chennai to Pondicherry. I hope 140 kilometers, right? 140 kilometers. And then fuel used. For example, fuel used. What I can do? Fuel used. I can say like I going to use fuel used. I know. Of I'm going to say like 40 liters. If you run the script, it's going to give the mileage for you. Why not enough fuel to travel distance? Hold a minute. Not enough fuel to travel distance. Check which is the condition. Fuel used is 0. Fuel used, what I have mentioned here is fuel used. Okay. Fuel used is what fuel used I given as 40. 40 greater than fuel level. Fuel level is going to be 0, right? Okay, what I have to do? I have to do one thing. Mileage dot refuel. Okay, I want to provide the fuel amount value. Fuel amount, I go into the bunk and putting how many liters? Somewhat keep it is 40 liters. Okay, I make like 42 liters. Let's see, it's going to give some value per liter. How much mileage you getting per liter? You're getting 3.5 kilometer per liter, getting only 3.5 kilometer. For example, I'm in the mileage I'm putting fuel used is somewhat 20 kilometers. Okay, let's see per liter how much kilometer is giving. 7 kilometer per liter. Okay, 20 into 7 will be 140. Getting right? 140 kilometers are traveled. Per liter is giving like 7 kilometer. Like this, you can able to calculate the mileage of your car. Distance started by fuel use. How much fuel you used? We are going to calculate. I going to use the fuel use as 20. and then for it's going to give 7 kilometer per liter. Okay, for understanding I can mention here as uh, 1 kilo, sorry, I can mention like mm, 1 liter. Okay, 1 liter, 1 liter mileage. It's giving for 1 liter mileage 7.0 kilometers. Kilometers. This is how you can calculate the mileage. Now, one more real time example going to see. It's very, very important. Okay, for example, sand, you are building one construction. For construction, it requires some raw materials. Like you need some sand, right? You need sand. What you're trying to do, you're going to some hardwares and then paying some amount. That lorry is coming to a particular site. Okay, lorry is coming to your site. See, this is going to the lorry. Truck, actually, you can say truck. Truck is going to come to your construction, and then you want to calculate the CFT, cubic feet. How you will calculate? You're going to see this real example right now. For that, I will take a pause.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now, for construction, going to buy some sand, one truck of sand. For one truck of sand, we want to calculate the volume of sand in one truck in CFT. Okay, CFT stands for cubic feet. Now, what I going to do? I going to say how to measure your sand in truck in CFT. Okay, first thing what you have to do, first you want to enter into the lorry and then you have to measure the length of the truck body. You should not take the entire length of the truck. You should take the length of the inner edge of the truck body, and then you want to find the width of the inner edge of the truck body, 6 feet, and then height of the truck loaded, it's going to 5 feet. You know, already know the volume formula: length into breadth into height. 450 into 6 into 5 will be, it's going to give like approximately, it's going to 450 cubic feet. Measurement is cubic feet. Now 450 cubic feet of sand quantity loaded into one truck of medium size. Okay. Now what I going to do? I already know about the 452 cubic feet of sand quantity loaded into the one truck and the medium size. Now what I going to do? I want to find how much kg of my sand has. It's okay. For that, what I have to do? First thing what I do, density for any unit weight of sand will be in kg, vary from 1520 to 1680. Though it's lies between the range of 15202 to 1680, you want to take average for these two values. Finally, you'll get average density of the sand will be 1631 kilogram per meter cube. Okay, average, after finding the average density, what you have to do, you have one value like 1 meter cube of sand equal to 35.232 cft. Okay, now you already know 1 meter cube of sand equal to 30.3 f 32 so 30.32 cft, and then 30.4 cft value will be 1631 kg of sand. And then what I going to do, I want to find the 1 cft in terms of kgs. Already I did the average, right? From the average I got 1631, and then I took 35.22. I took 30.22 because 32, because 1 meter of sand will be 30.32 cft, so that I am dividing this value. For 1 cft the value will be 146 kg. Okay, now already I know the volume of the truck. It's going to 450. 450 into the 46 will be, I getting 20,700 kg of sand that truck it's going to hold. Okay, for this I going to do the implementation. I going to do the implementation using my interface. Okay, before going to the interface, I want to have one module, okay, that is called the Zope module. Okay, using the Zope module, going to implement this real-time scenario how to measure the quantity of sand. Okay, you already know interface nothing but a collection of method signatures that is provided by the implementing class. Okay, interface will contains only the abstract methods. You have to implement those abstract methods in one of the classes. For interface, you can't able to create any object. Okay, whenever you're trying to implement all these examples, it's not in a formal way. Okay, but you want to follow the formal way actually, because what are the examples you've seen so far, it's not in the formal way, it's in the informal way. Now we're going to follow some formal way using this Zope Toolkit project. Okay, this is not a default toolkit available in your Python. You have to install this Zope. For that, what you're going to do, you go into the Python and then go to this Python packages and then type Zope. Okay, I think Zope is already installed, I guess. If you are trying to install it again, or you can open the Python terminal, you can install Python pip3 pip3 install Zope. You can install this toolkit, it's already installed. Okay, for understanding, I'm showing this thing to you. You can install this Zope 3 toolkit. Now we're going to follow the formal way of implementing the interfaces. Now see what I'm going to do for declaring an interface using Zope toolkit. What you have to do, you have to use this parent classes zope.interface in your class. Then only what will happen, this my interface, it's going to try to inherit the properties from the zope of interface. Okay, okay. Interface defined in Python class statement and subclass of interface, which is the parent interface of all interfaces. Okay, this class interface actually the main interface for this parent will be interface. That's what mentioned here is zope.interface. This is going to parent interface. This is going to be the child interface. Okay, I'm going to declare the interface using the Zope toolkit. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create I'm going to have like interface. Where is interface? Oops. Go to oops and search for interfaces, and then you can able to create a py file. Mention there something like Zope interface py file. Okay, Zope interfaces py file, and then I'm going to create one class. I'm going to create an interface for sand measurements interface. In that, I have to import one toolkit Zope. Zope, right? 1 minute. Zope only, I guess. Yeah, Zope interface. Sorry. Put Zope dot interface. Now I'm going to call my parent class interface zope dot interface. For sand measurements, what are the parameters you're looking for? You're looking for length, breadth, height. Okay. Okay, what we'll do, we'll have a method, calculate the
Volume.
sand, calculate the volume. Okay, calculate volume. Okay, calculate volume of sand. Mention like this. You have to provide three arguments like length, breadth, and then height. and then I'm going to use pass. This is an interface actually. Okay. No need of any abstract method over here because we are using Zope interface. We are providing the formal interface. Okay, there will be some enforcement will be there. Okay, if you are not trying to implement this methods in one of the class, it's going to throw some error. That's why we are providing the formal interfaces. Previous example is called informal interface. Now I created calculate volume sand, and then I'm going to have one more class. Okay, in the interface you can have variables as well. You can have the variables in the interface. You can have the abstract methods. Abstract methods there won't be any implementation, as well as you can have the variables. Okay. Now I'm going to have one. I'm going to one variable called truck equal to zope dot zope dot interface dot attribute. Okay, only 1 minute. Attributes. I forgot that. Yeah, interface dot attributes. Okay, interface dot attributes. Attributes. Okay, I'm going to it's a 707. Okay, it's a truck name is 707. In the abstract in the interface you can have the variables as well as you can have the abstract methods. Now I'm going to have one more class. Okay, and then going to have the class name sand. Now no need to inherit the properties of your parent class to this child class sand. Okay, you have what you're going to have. You're going to have like yeah, I'll show here. You have one decorator zope dot interface dot implementer. In the implementer you have to pass your parent class name. Okay, you can mention like zope dot decorator and then zope dot interface dot implementer. In the implementer I going to implement this method, right? Calculate volume sand method I going to implement. I want to inherit the properties of my parent class interfaces. Okay, no need of providing any um, parent class in the child class sand. No need to provide anything in the decorator. You can pass off sand measurement interface. Now I want to implement the methods. Method I want to implement is calculate volume of sand and then I want to provide the three arguments. What are three arguments I want to provide? Length, breadth and height I want to provide. Okay, I'm going to provide the length, breadth and height. Okay, and then I'm going to return some value length into breadth into height. It will return terms of cubic feet actually. It will return terms of cubic feet. Okay, I missed the instance, sorry. Length into breadth into height. Okay, after converting into cubic feet, what I have to measure? I want to measure in terms of kg. For that, I'm going to write one more abstract method how to convert to kgs. After converting to cubic feet, how to convert to kgs. Already shown here. After finding in terms of cubic feet, the density of weight of sand you know already. Density of weight of sand you already know. It's like 1631. Okay, you need this value. Okay, you can mention here as density of sand equal to zope dot interface dot attribute. In the attribute, I'm going to pass one value as 1631. Okay. Now, what are the parameters we're looking for? You want to, you already know 1 meter of sand will be 35.32 CFT. Okay, 1 meter of sand you already know. Like 1 meter cube of sand you already know 35.32 CFT. Now you can mention like 1 meter cube, 1 meter cube of sand is going to be zope.interface dot attribute. Sorry, attribute. And that I'm going to give some values. The value I'm going to give 35.3 F 35.32 CFT. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I want to calculate the kgs. For calculating the kgs, what you have to do? What you have to do? You have to measure the one density of sand divided by 1 meter cube. Okay, then you will get the kgs. Now, I'm going to write one more abstract method. Calculate not volume actually, calculate volume of sand, calculate volume of sand in terms of kg, volume of sand in terms of kg. Now what I have to do, I want to calculate the CFT. Can give some variable CFT equal to density of sand, density of sand density of sand divided by like for example if it is and provide like number of CFTs number of CFTs you want to divide it, and then density of attribute. Okay, density of, okay, what I have to do, though it's abstract method, right? I want to provide the pass. Okay, now I want to implement the method here. If calculate volume of sand in terms of kg, I'm going to use self, and then I want to use the number of CFT, and then I'm going to calculate the CFT equal to first I want to get the volume, right? I want to get the volume, like density of sand divided by number of CFT, number of CFT into what value it is, 35.32, 1 meter of sand, meter of sand. Okay, why it's giving density of sand? Okay, 1 minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now you can able to see your interface. You have the truck and density of sand, 1 meter of sand. Now look, we need the density of sand. Okay, and then just then you need the density of sand, right? You can pass as an argument, comma, 1 meter of sand will be like going to be the 30.32. You can pass as an argument to your implemented methods. Okay, now everything is fine. You found the CFT. After finding the CFT, what did I do? Want to multiply CFT into in terms of volume. Okay, now what I going to do? I going to return CFT into volume, calculate CFT into volume. Okay, calculate volume price. Calculate CFT. Okay, let it be. It's going to return CFT. I will change the method name as calculate CFT. Now here you can change as calculate CFT. Okay, calculate CFT we have did, and then what I going to do? I going to have one constructor def. Sorry, I going to have constructor in the class and class def init. I going to have the length, breadth as well as height, and then self dot l equal to l, and then self dot variable name breadth equal to arguments b, self dot height equal to height. Okay, okay, now everything is fine now. What I can do in terms of, I can do now length into breadth into height. Okay, you can call like this: self dot l, self dot breadth, self dot height. Okay, reformat the file. Okay, now everything is fine now. Now what I'm going to do, I want to create an object for the sand class. Okay, okay, I'm going to have the CALC instance, and then sand. If for the constructor I want to pass the length I'm going to pass. What's the length I'm going to pass? Length I'm going to pass as 15 into 16 to 5. 15, 6, and then 5. 15 feet, 6 feet, and 5 feet. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? Calculate. I want to calculate volume of sand. In that you have to provide the length, breadth, height. Right. You can do one thing. Instead of doing all these things, you can remove the argument and use self dot l, self dot b, self dot height. Okay, now we're going to carry the volume of sand. If you want to see the volume of sand, you can print the values. Okay, just run the script. Init has no attribute error. Okay, what's the mistake I did here is line number int has no int object has no attribute find. Int object has no attribute find. What's the int object is not attribute find? Int object has no attribute find. Where we are given the int 15 is equal to 7. Okay, int object has no attribute find. Density sand, 1 meter sand, everything I provided over here. 1 minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now I'm finding the volume of sand. The volume of sand formula is length into breadth into height. Now I am passing in the constructor length, breadth as well as height. Okay, length is 15 and breadth is 6, and then height is going to be 5. For calculate volume of sand, the volume of in terms of cubic feet will be 450 cubic feet meters. Okay. Now I want to calculate the CFT. Okay, cubic feet. the density of sand, will be, I mentioned over here, is 1631, 1631. Okay, the average value is 1631, but lies within the range of 1502, 15202, 1681. If you take average of this, you will get 1631. The density of sand is going to be 1631. Okay. Now and then I am going to apply a formula here. The formula is going to be, I want to calculate for 1 CFT. Okay, the 1 CFT, the formula is going to be, I want to divide by 1 meter cube of sand by, sorry, yeah, average density divided by 1 meter cube of sand. Okay, 1 meter of sand, meter cube of sand equal to 3.35.32 CFT. Okay, I want to divide the average density divided by 1 meter cube sand. Okay, now what I did here is, density of sand is 1631, and then I want to divide by 35.32. Okay, 35.32. That's why I mentioned as number of CFT equal to, I want to remove this formula. Remove all these things. That's what the mistake I made here. Now I'll get the CFT, how much CFT I have, and then I going to multiply the CFT value into volume of the truck. Okay, length into breadth height. This is what I'm going to find. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a print statement. In the print statement, I'm going to use the instance dot calculate CFT. In the calculate CFT, I want to pass the values. The first value I'm going to pass density of sand, right? I want to pass the density of sand. The density of sand is going to be, I mentioned the attribute over here is 1631. I want to pass the 1631 here. The next argument I want to pass is number of CFT. Okay, total number of CFT. The value is going to be 35.32, 35.32 or 42. You can mention something. 35.42 I'm mentioning over here is, and then no need of the 1 meter of sand value, and then 1 meter of sand. Okay, I will remove the density of sand. 1 meter of sand value is going to be 30 point. Yeah, density of sand is required, right? The density of sand is required. Density of sand, and then 1 meter of sand. Density of sand divided by 1 meter cube of sand. 1 meter cube of sand. Okay, 1 meter cube of sand. Just copy and paste it over here. Now you can be able to find the CFT, and then you can use a print statement and print the CFT value, and then you're going to find the entire in terms of kg. Okay, now we're going to pass the density sand is 1631, and the 1 meter cube of sand is going to be 30.42. Now if you run the script, you will get 1 CFT equal to how much kg? 46.04 kg. 46.04 kg, and then the total kg in the truck will be how much kg? 20,721 kg is present in the truck. First, you have to ask a driver how much safety have. You will say like 46 CFT or 50 CFT. Once you're doing all these calculations, okay, and then you will get the final value as 20721. Take a notepad. the total kgs will be total kg will be how much kg? 20721.34, and then it divide by CFT. One CFT value is one CFT value how much kg? 46.04 kg, right? Now 46.04. What value? Can you have calci and get this value? 20.721.34 to 46.04. What's the value? Otherwise, you'll have on calci here. Have a calci calculator like 50.15
0.
or 50?
450.
450.
Point 0.
Okay. Yeah. 450.04. Okay, you can able to check the CFTs. Okay, like totally will be like one CFT equal to 46 kg, right? And then totally it contains like 450 CFTs you have. This is how you can able to measure with your, you can check with your lorry driver, and then you can check the kgs. In terms of kgs, you can mention like 2071, but none of the drivers won't say the kgs. They'll say only safety. Okay, this much safety you have, and then you have to measure your length, breadth, and height, and then you have to find how much safety the truck has contains. This is how you can able to measure. Okay, now I implemented using Zope Toolkit. And the Zope Toolkit, it's one of the formal way to implement your abstract methods. You can use the decorator called implementer. If you use implementer, what are methods you have in the in the class, you have to implement in the sand class. Okay, that's the use of, it's nothing but a formal interface. There will be a formal interface, there will be a strict enforcement will be available. Whenever you're using decorator, definitely you have to implement it. Okay, implement it. Now I'm going to show a few more things to you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more example Python file, and then I'm going to create like interface 02 Python 02. I'm going to create simple thing. The topic is going to be using inheritance, how to how to inherit the how to inherit the interfaces. How to inherit the interfaces. Now I'm going to have one class called car, and then for that you have to use a module called from abc import abc. Okay, abc. In that you have to pass the parent class is going to be abc. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have like a simple method like a fuel check. I'm not going to do any implementation. Fuel check, and then I'm going to have one abstract method, that's no implementation. And then next I'm going to use a mileage check. Okay, mileage check, and then I'm going to have one abstract method, and then I'm going to have one more class. On the class it's going to be engine. Okay, I'm going to make it engine. I want to inherit the properties of my parent. The parent is going to be car. Now I'm going to have like oil check. I want to check the oil. Okay, again I'm going to have one more abstract method. Now how many interfaces we have? Can you say how many interfaces we have? How many interface we have? We have the two interfaces. Okay, in the class car you can able to see two abstract methods, and then in the one more class engine class we have one more abstract methods. Okay, we have two interfaces. Now I'm going to show how to see what happens whenever you are trying to inherit the properties of interfaces. Interface to another interfaces. Okay, this abstract method and this abstract method will going to you want to implement this abstract method and this abstract method and this abstract method you want to implement in some other classes, but you can't able to implement in the engine class because the engine class contains an abstract method. Whichever class having some abstract method, definitely you can't able to implement. Okay, now what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to use a constructor. The constructor going to make its abstract method. Okay, now you can say the method is called abstract method. Abstract method, and then here I'm going to mention that the class is going to be abstract method. Okay, now I can't able to inherit, I can't able to implement this two methods in the engine class because this engine class is going to interface. Okay, now if I want to implement these three methods, what I can do, I'm going to take the class of Suzuki call, and then I'm going to implement engine. Going to inherit the properties of engine. Now I can able to implement all these three methods in a single class because I'm trying to inherit the properties of this car class in engine, and then I'm inheriting these properties to my Suzuki class. Now I can able to implement the three methods. You might have a question. So the engine having only one method, right? Then how you can able to implement two methods? What happening? I'm trying to inherit the properties of car class in engine. That's why it will take all the control of abstract methods to the engine class. Now now the engine method having how many abstract methods, can you see? Now the engine method will have how many abstract methods? Don't say one. Now the engine method contains how many abstract methods? Three. One,
Fuel
two,
check and
mileage check, because we are inheriting the properties of by a parent class, right? And then you have the two methods and then one more method. Totally there are three abstract methods in the engine class. The three abstract methods we are trying to implement the Suzuki class. Okay, now I'm going to implement one by one. I'm going to have like first is going to be oil check, and then I'm going to print some red statement. Oil level is above par. Oil level is above par. Okay. Now I'm going to do a simple implementation, and then I'm going to find the going to what are the abstract methods we have, like fuel check and then mileage check. Fuel check and then mileage check. I'm going to return something like the fuel level is 100%. Fuel level is 100%, and then def fuel, and then what's the oil check we did, and then we have to do the mileage check, right? Copy, and then you have paste here, and then you can use self. Okay, and the mileage check. Yeah, my Suzuki car is giving mileage is 22 kilometer per hour. Okay, now I implemented all these three abstract methods in one other class, Suzuki class. Now I can able to, what I can do, I can create an instance. Okay, it's a vehicle equal to instance name, and then I can create an object for Suzuki class. Call the default, will call the default constructor, and then I can use the print statement vehicle dot oil check. You can able to, it will oil level is above par, and then you can print the remaining two more things, fuel check as well as mileage check. Fuel check and then mileage check. Okay, now we can able to see all this implement method results. Now from the script, what you understood, you can have multiple interfaces. You can have multiple interfaces, not only one interface. You can have multiple interfaces. that multiple interfaces. What you can do, you can init the properties of one interface to another interface, and then you can implement all those abstract methods in a single class. That's the thing you want to understand. If you have multiple interface, one interface can inherit the properties of another interfaces, and then all the abstract methods can be implemented in a single class. Okay, you can do all kind of implementations like fuel check. You can check the fuel level, and then you can do all these implementations here in the Suzuki class, and then you can able to you can create an object of Suzuki class and then can call the methods one by one. Okay, that's the use of how to inherit the multiple interfaces. How to inherit the multiple interfaces. If you have multiple interfaces, you can inherit the properties of car class to engine, and then you can implement all the three methods in a single class. Okay, now what I'm going to do.